I think the biggest problem when buying your first coffee machine is that there are just so many options out there, from different types of machine, different shapes, different brands, different styles. It's a minefield. But I think realistically there's only two options you should go for when it comes to the world of espresso. And that's espresso machines and bean to cup machines. But which one of these should you go for? Let's talk coffee. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about espresso machines and bean to cup machines, the pros and cons of each, and hopefully we should help you decide what machine you should go for. But before we get into that, I just want to say a massive thank you. The channel was recently hit 100 subscribers, which is insane. I'd just like to thank the support of you guys and all my friends and all my family. For example, my father-in-law let me borrow his bean to cup machine today, so thank you again, that's much appreciated. I wasn't expecting to hit 100 subscribers within 3 months of being on this channel. It's speechless, honestly, absolutely speechless. However, this is just the beginning, so please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and we'll make more videos in the future. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. I wanted to go through a few points of each machine. What I've done is I've put together 4 different categories and 4 different points made, and comparing each machine to where they fit within that category. The idea of this is hopefully it will give you a better understanding on how both machines are, the pros, the cons, and hopefully it should help solidify your decision of what machine you're going to buy, because coffee is a minefield in the beginning. So the first topic I want to talk about is the ease of operation, so how easy these machines are to use on a daily basis. I think it's best to start with the bean to cup machine. The bean to cup machine is a very easy machine to use, because all you have to do is fill the machine up with product, beans and milk, and just push a button. So it's literally a case of pushing a few buttons and getting a high quality drink. Also, most bean to cup machines have a descale process which you can find in the menus, and they're pretty easy to find, so descaling the machine isn't a massive issue. Moving on to the espresso machine, it's a little bit more complex. So as on the bean to cup machine, you've got your own coffee grinder built into the machine. I believe also most bean to cup machines have their own programmed drinks. So if you don't want to mess around with any drink settings, you can have decent quality drinks on the machine already pre-installed. Whereas on the espresso machine, its function is to provide 9 bars of pressure, ideally, in through your portafilter and out to create a lovely espresso. However, you have more influence and control over that. These machines may have adjustable grinders, however, grind weight is kind of already controlled by most bean to cup machines. Whereas when you're grinding coffee for this, you've got to be a bit more flexible and got to play around a bit more to make sure you're getting the right amount of coffee in the portafilter so you can extract decent espresso. However, it is very satisfying when you get it correct. But to beginners, it might be a bit more of a faff. This machine also has an auto-foaming feature, which is great if you want to make quality milk for your drinks. However, I do advise people foam milk themselves normally, because you can get a nicer quality when you've mastered milk foaming anyway. So I think when it comes to ease of use, I think the bean to cup machine gets the point. However, when you master using an espresso machine, it's more worth it in my opinion. This moves us swiftly on to our next topic, which is drink quality. Touching on what I said before, you've got to put a lot more effort into an espresso machine to get a nicer drink quality, because it does take time. However, once you do get those drinks to a good standard, it's very impressive. You can get cafe quality drinks in your own home. And considering most drinks cost like £3-4 a coffee, that's not a bad thing. Of course, going back to the ease of use bean to cup machine, I don't know what it is about bean to cup machines, but I don't think the drink qualities are as nice, and that's my opinion. If you want a bog standard cup of coffee, get one of these. Cappuccinos are alright, I suppose. They're probably my favourite drinks on a bean to cup machine. However, nothing really compares to when you master and put in the effort of making a drink on an espresso machine. So the bean to cup machine may be easy to use, but I think drink quality, subjectively, goes to the espresso machine. The third category I've come up for this video is service life. What do I mean by service life? So when I talk about service life, I'm all about how long these machines will last. So reliability, in a nutshell. If you've watched my Sage Bambino Plus review, you will know that I've had this machine for 4 years. Don't I bang on about it? And I think that's due to high quality parts and lack of parts. This machine has way more parts in it than this does, which means this has more stuff that can go wrong. I also find, in this case anyway, that DeLonghi's parts aren't as good quality as Sage's parts. which is beneficial to Sage and not to DeLonghi. Not saying DeLonghi machines are bad by any means. I've seen some good DeLonghi machines. One of the main reasons why I've got this one is because it's got a leak on it, and I'm going to look into this machine to find out what the leak is. Never had an issue with this machine. I've torn this machine apart. You've seen the inside of this machine. If you haven't, there's a video link in the comments below. And it's all immaculate still. It's been 4 years, regularly descaled, regularly serviced, and it's just still immaculate. This machine in particular, I've looked at quite a few times with grinder issues, and obviously I'm looking at now for this leak issue that I'm having. So I don't find bean to cut machines more reliable. In a bean to cut machine, there's a brew group as well, and they can fail. They've got seals that can leak, which is another thing that can go wrong. I think the simplicity in parts with the espresso machine outweighs the complexity of a semi-automatic bean to cut machine. And I definitely think if you're looking for a reliable machine, you should definitely opt for an espresso machine over a bean to cut machine. The fourth and final category I want to talk about is price. I believe this machine costs only a little bit more than this one does. The prices will be down here, so if I'm wrong, sorry. However, we'll look at these as base prices. I want to talk about the additional things that you have to buy for an espresso machine and for a bean to cut machine. So for a bean to cut machine, you have to buy descaler and cleaning tablets. And that's pretty much it, I think. I haven't owned a bean to cut machine before, but I know people that do own bean to cut machines, and they buy very minimal things to help keep this machine going. And we're not talking about coffee and milk. That doesn't count for this. However, the amount of stuff I've bought for this espresso machine is ridiculous. This new double spouted portafilter, by the way, I bought last month and it arrived today as of recording this video. I've got a bottomless portafilter, I've got a dosing ring, I've got a pack screen, I've got espresso filters now. If you want to take coffee as a hobby or whatever, it's pricey. Again, I've made another video about free espresso tools you can use for cheap. I believe they're all under £10. I will link that in the description below as well, so you can watch that. That may assist you if you do have an espresso machine or are thinking of getting one. So I think due to the fact you've got to buy so much more things on an espresso machine than you would have bean to cut machine to get a decent quality drink, bean to cut wins in price. So what have we learned from that little discussion about these two types of machines? Well, we've learned that these are easy to use. We've learned that these have a better service life. We've learned that these aren't as expensive, and that these can provide a better quality drink. Which means these both get 2 points. Which means we're at a tie with points in our categories on this video. So I think what you would need to do is look at these categories and think to yourself, what's more important to me? Is it important that I'm going to get a good quality drink, or that my machine lasts longer, or if it's easy to use? I think if I was to give a personal opinion, I'd choose espresso machines any day of the week. I think they're just more fun to use. However, if you've got a family gathering and you want to make everybody loads of drinks, this is going to be slower than this. I hope the categories that I've given and the answers I've given have helped you make a better decision about which machine to get, because like I said earlier, it is an absolute minefield. You've got so many options out there. I'm not necessarily saying to get these machines either. There are better bean to cut machines and there are definitely better espresso machines out there. However, do your research, look at videos, see what machines there are out there that you can get, and bear these points made in mind because they should help you out when deciding. However, have you been eyeing up this machine the entire time you've been watching this video? Well, there's another video right here of me reviewing this machine, and it should give you a clear idea as to whether it's a great machine or not. Anyway, that's all for today. All I can say now is have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Goodbye.